great atmosphere. Thank you, fans, for coming out and selling that bad boy out. That was a lot of fun. And when I got the notice this morning that ticket sales had been suspended, that's exciting. So students came in, and it was an opening day for baseball, so I was worried, with traffic or whatever was going to collide or something. But man, LSU people are special, and to be able to support your baseball team that's defending national champions on opening day, and then be able to come across the street and put 12,007, what was it, 12,7? 12,740. Awesome. I mean, just incredible. I don't know any other place in the country that would do that. And so we are grateful, we're blessed, and just an awesome night.
Jay, as I asked Aleah, your thoughts on Beam, early in the season. Obviously, you knew you guys weren't bad on Beam. You could do much better. But what has been so great about the way y'all have done it the
They
last
just
3
got
weeks?
comfortable. I mean, I told them, when we had the early season, whatever mistakes, in the first meet or two, and we were kind of still trying to figure out what that lineup in terms of an order should look like. And look, there's other options that there you may still see out there, but I think they're getting comfortable. The confidence is growing. It's just a natural progression with a team that we know is good on everything, and so they're maturing. I hope, and once again, when we're home, we're tough to beat. We've got to continue to show that that's who we are, no matter where we are.
Hey, Coach, what caused you to make the decision to sub Tori in on bars tonight and then have Aleah anchor on the floor?
Well, Tori had really turned a corner in the last week or two, and I was looking at this week putting her in anyway, just to get her back out there and let her, dip her toe back in the water, if you will. And then with Connor's back had been a problem for us, and Connor hadn't done anything since the previous week, so it just worked out that I'd already intended to put her in someplace, either second or third anyway, just based on the week she had and the previous 2 weeks she had. So I wanted to get her back out there one way or the other. I'll tell you who warmed up great tonight. That if was Liv. Liv really. If somebody had trouble in warm-ups, that was a lot of trouble. Liv was ready to go. That's the best I'd seen her look too. So, maybe we're seeing some of those options that we have come back together over there, and that's. But Connor's feeling better, and she just had not done anything since Georgia last week. We did beam yesterday for the first time, and felt like she needed to go on beam.
I noticed it seemed like you talked to Olivia before and after bars, and then before floor, and then finally gave her the thumbs up to go. How did she kind of receive that?
You know what? I mean, Liv's attitude has been awesome about that. She's played a role in different ways for us, whether that's been primarily on floor. But after bars, I just wanted to encourage her and tell her, how well she warmed up, and that, keep doing that. Don't lose that edge. Don't get discouraged. I want you to continue to push everybody and push yourself and keep getting better. And then on floor, it was just about communicating, because Kaya's feet were bothering her a little bit, and we know we're going to need Kaya's floor routine down the stretch, and so she only did a full on vault tonight just because the bottom of her feet are a little bit hot. And once we realized the meet was at hand and we kind of had a handle on what the score was looking like, made the switch and prepped Liv throughout that could be a possibility, that if we feel like we're in a good spot, and I just knew, with Sierra going out of bounds on the first, it was a great routine Sierra did, but went out of bounds, and I knew Liv was going to go out there and give us a little bit more, maybe an extra tenth, to bring us up just a little bit. At that point, it was about our NQS. It was really about, what in my mind. Otherwise, I would have just gone with 5, but putting Liv out there gave us an extra tenth, got us a little bit more, and puts us in, you got to compete to try to stay in the most favorable position possible. So, and Liv did a great job. And I told her afterwards. I told the team that's what a team is. That's what a teammate does. Goes in, spells their teammate, takes care of business, and Liv's just her outlook and her attitude and her preparation and her response to those situations has been spectacular.
I think it was it 2 weeks ago or a month ago, you said you moved Sierra to that front spot on beam to kind of be the start of it all.
Yeah, she's been in that role, I don't know, a month now, maybe a little more. It was after the first couple of meets we moved her.
And then it turns into a tie in the program record for beam score heater night.
That's what a fire starter does. I mean, she's so aggressive, and she's just the right personality makeup. It's about personality makeup. It's about attributes. It's about mental outlook to be in that position. She relishes it. Kid's a competitor, and she loves the idea of being able to set her teammates up that way, and continues to do it. So, she's. It just takes somebody with the right outlook to be able to do that. Some people do not like going early at all, and others love it, and she's one that loves it.
Hey there. So, Aleah Finnegan competed the Yurchenko 1.5 for the first time today.
I know y'all are happy about that.
I'm so happy about that.
I know y'all think I'm the biggest dummy because I haven't been. The whole gymnastics world thinks that. Look, we know that her 1.5 is a more landable vault. I interrupted your question. If you want me to ramble, or go ahead and finish your question.
I just was going to ask, do you think that's going to be kind of the vault moving forward, or are we going to go back and forth?
Yeah, as long as her wrist will tolerate it. The reason we were doing the 1.5 and intended to do it all season, and then her wrist got a little hot, and we stopped doing bars for a little while, and it was easier on her wrist to turn and come into the table forward, and so that's why we went back to the other vault. But as the wrist has calmed down and we've begun to add bars back a little bit, Garrett and I made the decision this week to go back to the 1.5. She still was doing drills and everything all the way through to be prepared to do that. And so we did it tonight. So if her health, it wasn't anything really bad, but we didn't want it to turn into something really bad. And when an MRI shows there's a little hot spot that it's kind of getting aggravated, before that becomes a stress reaction or a stress fracture, you got to make adjustments. And that you can either shut them down, or you can, fortunately for Aleah, she's got a vocabulary of skills to choose from. And so that's what that was all about. I realized that she's going to land that thing better, but it's about her health, and that's why we did it.
Not trying to get you in trouble here, Jay, but on a few routines like Savannah's bar routine and Kaya's beam routine, you feel like that could have been a little more deserving?
I'll have to go back and look at it, because I always, in the heat of the moment, I look at things differently than I do when I go home tonight and stay up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning rewatching everything. So I think that for the most part, the average scores worked out. Again, it's no different than the one night where I think it was Aleah's floor routine a couple weeks ago. One judge went 10 and one went 9.85. I don't think it was either one, but I think the average was what it should have been, which was a 9.925. And I think in many cases tonight that was the case. I'm always gonna be out there doing my thing and trying to make sure that that we stay where I think we should be. But we have an avenue for that. We were going to put a video inquiry in on Sierra's routine on video. When you pause when the heel went down, it wasn't out of bounds, but then when she got full weight on her back heel, it was. So I pulled the video review back. I didn't put it in. So the judges are doing their job, and you just have to. Fans got to get it. Sometimes I know they want a 10 every single time we hit a routine, but that's just not real. I did not think the ones that got booed on beam, I did not think they were scored incorrectly. So that I can recall. I thought Connor's routine probably was worthy of a 10, but everything else, there were deductions, But again, that's subjective, right? I mean, everything we're doing, it's in the eye of the beholder. So.
Balls and strikes got nothing on gymnastics scoring, but that's just an opinion. I should wait to ask you this Monday, but I'll ask you now. Florida won, you won, Kentucky won. You've talked all year about getting ready for the postseason, but you're in the thick. You're going to Florida next week with the regular season championship likely on the line. I mean, what does that mean? Where do you prioritize that in terms of,
I mean,
trying to go
obviously,
for it?
championships are something that are goals that we have in mind, but it's not something we put a whole lot of emphasis on right now. I mean, you gotta let these things happen organically. You start in this sport, you've got to be your normal. You've got to be your regular. That's how you catch fire. That's how momentum happens. You start trying to force things or start making it about some external motivation or the other team on the floor, or that's a trap. And so we've just got to continue to focus on the things that allow us to take another step forward. And if that works out, that we won't know that until I don't even know the math on all that. You probably do. I know we have a loss in the conference. I assume. Yeah. So it's certainly something we would love to accomplish, but it's not part of our conversation at all. It's about just going and competing to the best of our ability. Boring answer, right? Yeah, I mean, I think for us, you really the main thing most years that you just want to make sure you stay in the top four, so you can be in that evening session at SECs. So, if we can continue to advance and get better and perform better and iron out wrinkles and keep moving forward and stay healthy and all the things that we're trying to control, all that stuff's going to take care of itself. I know you wanted a little more colorful response than that, but I mean, it is how I feel. It's 100%. It's not just coach speak. I know you guys hear stuff like that, but this sport is so funny. It's so fickle mentally if you don't just really adopt that attitude. It's about us. That's all I kept telling them all night long. This is about us. Everything we do, every routine, every person on the sideline, everything we do, it's not about another team on the floor. It's not about how great and awesome the crowd was, although that feeds us. It's not about what other teams are doing around the country. We're going to measure ourselves week after week after week on what we do until the end. And then when we're all on the same floor, hopefully, see what happens. That's it. All right.